Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Let me tell you something. It's really, really an honor to host this young man, man. This young man has done so, he's done so well, man. He's an actor, he does voiceover, he's an illustrator, plus many other things. And if you're familiar with Roverman Productions, so far Roverman Productions has put out 28 plays. He's been in 25 of them, man. Show some love, man. You probably know who I'm talking about, but he does so many other things. Today we want to get a little bit of time to hang out with this gentleman. Put your hands together. Welcome, Andrew. Andrew, okay. Andrew, welcome to the show, man. Well, you've been on the show.
Yeah.
But you've always come with Roverman.
Yeah, this is my first time being here by myself.
Yes. Now you're on your own.
Yeah. Not on my own, but getting there.
You're getting there.
Yeah.
Well, Andrew, you've done, first of all, you've done extremely well, man.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Let's start with the acting bit before we get into other
sure.
things. Always wanted to be an actor?
No. Throughout secondary school, I always thought it was boring.
You thought acting was boring?
It wasn't something I was interested in.
Wow.
After secondary school, I watched a movie titled Amistad, and I don't know, something just got into me. I saw Anthony Hopkins deliver a line at the end, getting to the end of the movie.
What
and
did
I thought
he say?
it was a kind of a monologue. He was delivering a closing argument. He played an old lawyer who was kind of called out of retirement to kind of deal with the case, and at the end he delivered this closing argument. I got goose pimples. Wow. I thought, wow, I think I'd like to do something like this.
Really?
One day, yeah.
You wanted to be a lawyer or you wanted to act?
No, acting.
Wow.
Acting.
Wow.
Yeah.
You were so impressed with the performance.
I was extremely
And
impressed.
so, but before then, you had not paid any attention to it?
Before then, yeah, I enjoyed watching movies, like everybody else, and stuff like that, but not really, I want to be an actor, no.
So you saw Anthony Hopkins and you decided, no, yeah.
Anthony Hopkins, yes.
Yeah, you decided, I want to get into acting.
Yes.
And what was the first practical move you took to become an actor?
I didn't do anything immediately. It was a few years later, I traveled out of the country for an exchange program. But when I came back, I was different somehow. I just suddenly had the desire to do everything that I had.
Really?
I was on my mind.
I read somewhere that when you were traveling, you saw yourself as you traveled as a loser and came back as a winner.
Yes. That's how I'd like to call it, because
really?
Before I traveled, I really didn't have any serious ambition to do something with my life. I was just kind of wake up, eat, sleep, kind of watch movies and stuff like that. But when I went there, I don't know exactly who I met or I didn't do no one really spoke to me or anything. I just went there, came back, and I was different.
Really?
Somehow.
Where
Yeah.
did you go?
Malaysia.
Wow.
Yeah.
So was there something about that inspired you
to this day, I don't know exactly what it was.
But when you came back, you knew you were different?
Yeah, I met a lot of interesting people. I had a lot of fun. But when I came back, I just felt, look, I have to do something with my life. And
wow.
Yeah.
And so what did you decide to do with your life?
Well, there was a list. I came back January. I came back late 2006 and early 2007. I decided that everything that people had told me, was little comments here and there. I remember my big sister saying that I had a great voice, so I should try radio or doing voiceover. So I thought, okay, let me try voiceovers. Then my sister used to work at City FM, so I got to know Jessica through her. Okay. So I went to City. I just walked there and said, I'm looking for Jessica. They showed me where she was. I went to see her. I told her, they said I have a nice voice, so I want to do voiceovers. And she said, okay. Incidentally, there was something she was supposed to have done with Oscar. We call him Uncle Oscar. He wasn't around, so he said, okay, so you can just do it. So just that same day, wow. I did the voiceover, my very first voiceover with Jessica. And then it kind of continued from there. I got referrals and clients and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then I could draw, so I said, okay, there's got to be something I can do with this. So when I was in art school, my illustration teacher sent me to Uncle White to, deliver a work he had done for him. And the guy was about a year too late. So Uncle Ebo, and I showed it, he said, okay, this is nice, but go and tell your teacher he's about a year too late. But I realized he had River Report monthly and stuff around. So I said, okay, this. So I remembered from back then. So when after City FM, I went to his office again, and he was there. I told him, oh, I can draw. I see you have magazines here, so I'd like to do something for you. So with his usual, he
Straight
goes,
face.
okay, fine. Show me what you can do. And so I show him some of my stuff, and he looks at it. He goes, okay, your drawings need to look more African, so go and do something and come back. So I did. I went, kind of revised my illustrations, came back. He looks at them as usual.
Straight face.
Okay, these are good. So we discussed how much he'd pay me for stuff like that. And that's how it
Really?
started from there. So I didn't have a computer by then, so I would do them on cards and then bunch them together, come all the way to the office, deliver them, get paid, go back home and do them. And that's how it started. Today I have the means to do them and email them to the stuff.
Show some love, man. And by the way, you are the illustrator for the Ruben Report.
River Report monthly, the
Ruben
jokes.
Report, yeah.
I do, but I also do stuff. He also has these children's books he's coming out with, as well as this comic book he has called The Devourer. And Devourer is already out, but there are a few of them that are about to be released that I'm still working on. So it's an ongoing thing. Yes.
Show some love, man.
Yeah.
So, quite interesting. So you came back from Malaysia, and then you decided to make the first move.
Yes.
Went in there for the voiceover.
Went to the
timing
voiceover.
right.
Yes.
You got
And
it.
then got it.
And then from there,
Went
the
straight to Uncle Ebo's office.
Wow.
And then and then the acting was, I remembered, okay, I said I'd do this thing, so I started, and then I had an ad almost like coincidence. I had an ad on the radio. They were doing this crash course acting thing. So I said, okay, they were charging 40 Ghana cedis, 400,000 Ghana cedis, and I said, okay, let me go and look for these people, because I didn't know what to do. So I go there and I get to the National Theatre. So I'm looking around and I see one of these really veteran actors, walking around. So I go to him and I say, this is what I heard on the radio. What do you think? I'm looking for them now. And he goes, oh, don't mind those people. Go to the art center and join a theater group.
Okay.
I said, okay, fine. So I go to the art center, and when I get there, I meet a lady sitting there. So I just go there and I go like, oh, is this where the theater groups meet? She says, yeah. Actually, I am part. She says she's part of a theater group, so
Okay.
she's actually waiting for them. It was around 4 p.m. when I got there. So we sit and chat till 6. The group comes together. They come, the different members come together. They all start meeting, and then I say, okay, so this is a theater group. Okay, I'd like to join. That's why I'm here. And it was the Fihankra Playhouse Theater Group. So that is when my journey as an actor began. Yes.
So did you get to do any work with that group?
Yeah, about a year. We did some work for about a year. All this while I was doing the voiceovers and the illustrations for Uncle Ebo. So how Roverman came about was, one day I was, I delivered my usual consignment. Then he gets them as usual. He looks at them, okay, these are good. So what else do you do? I told him, oh, I perform at the art center with a theater group. He looks at me and says, really? He says, yes, I do. Okay. I'm working on something, so when I'm done, I'll give you a call. That was when he was working on, he was finishing the script for Unhappy Wives, Confused Husbands.
Yeah.
So he says, I'm working on something. I'll give you a call when I'm done. I go, okay. So I go, and then I hear the ad on the radio, but I was kind of inside. I was kind of working with him already, so I was just kind of brought into the whole thing. And that's when it began. He asked me which role I'd like to play in Unhappy Wives. And I think I mentioned one of the sons of the old man.
You read through the script?
Yeah, we read through the script
Yeah.
and everything. I said I'd like to play one of the, very naughty, one of the naughty sons, who couldn't remember his wife's birthday. I thought, okay, if I had a choice, I'd play this one. Then he looks at me and gives me the old man instead. That's when the journey began.
Wow.
Everything really took off from there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Show some love, man. That's quite so he's done 20. Rover is it Roverman?
Roverman,
Has
yes.
done 28 plays.
28,
And you've been in 25.
Yes, I have. I have.
My goodness.
I can't believe it myself.
And do you remember the lines of every part you played, or
Oh,
once you
well,
start rehearsing, you'll come back?
once we start rehearsing, it comes back. The older the play, the harder it is to remember.
Yeah.
With the exception of Unhappy Wives. Unhappy Wives, we did it so many times. It's. I think with one through, we'll be able to remember. The others, it's kind of
Yeah, sketchy here.
sketchy here and there.
Yeah.
But we will get it done.
But the last one that Forbidden. No, what's the
The
last one?
very last one we did was Bananas and Groundnuts.
Bananas and Groundnuts, man.
This year we've done Smartest Man, Forbidden, and Bananas and Groundnuts.
Okay.
So we have one more.
Yeah. The last one, Bananas and Granuts, man, that character, you killed it, man.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You killed that character.
Thank you.
It was so amazing.
Yeah.
But so, what you're like versatilely, if there's a word like that, doing several things. You're acting, you're doing voiceover.
Yes.
And you're doing illustrations.
Yes.
Do you have a particular attraction to one of them, or you?
It's been a bit of a dilemma there because I discovered my talent for drawing visual arts before my talent for acting. So the love for both is pretty strong. At this moment, I can't really put a finger on which one I love to do more because they both involve the creative process.
Yeah.
And it's nice when you're creating something and you get lost in it and you're just there. And before you realize you have this beautiful image. And the same goes for the character you're creating as well. You know, when it's finally on stage and the audience is responding to it, it's such a huge rush to do that. Yeah.
And you do voiceovers, of course. You've done what? How many voiceovers have you done now?
I can't really, if ballpark, maybe 1,000.
Wow.
In 1957, a great visionary changed our destiny. One voyage changed our future forever. Her bravery changed the course of history.
Show some love, man. Show some love. And I can't let you leave here, you know. You're a hunk, man. I mean,
Oh, yeah. That's what they
yeah.
say.
Are you dating? What's the love like?
Well, I'm single at the moment. Yeah. Yeah.
Single and unattached, or semi?
Oh, well, it's complicated. Yeah, it's single at the moment.
Yeah.
It's been a bit, well, people say I'm not normal, really, because
Well.
people at my age, they expect a Ghanaian man to be thinking
Yeah.
about settling down and things like that. And fortunately or unfortunately, that's not where my mind is at the moment. It's kind of, there's so much to be done, and I've barely scratched the surface, although they say, oh, no, you can still do this and find out, but that's how I feel at the moment, and until it changes, that's how it's going to stay. Yeah.
But are there sort of like requests in the pipeline?
Yeah, when you're performing and stuff like that,
Yeah.
you do get things like that, but you don't try not to take people for a ride and just, be yourself and tell them this is what is really important to me at the moment.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Put your hands together, man. Andrew, thank you very much for joining us. It's been great, and
pleasure
congratulations,
to be here.
man.
Thank
And
you.
your story is very inspiring, and
Yeah.
I want the youth to hear this, how you just decided to change, and you acted on it.
Well, yeah.
And since you acted on it, it's been flowing.
Maybe later we'll talk about how the screen work also came along. It's also a bit inspiring.
Yeah. Just we have a minute left, but you've done
Okay.
the screen, right?
Yeah.
Beast of No Nation.
Yeah, along with a few other things, but the Beasts of No Nation is particularly interesting because at the time we were preparing for Gamesmen Play, where I played the assistant coach, that really weird guy, and the casting crew for Beasts had come in and they had auditioned some of us. So unfortunately, we had 3 weeks to prepare. We usually take 6 weeks to prepare a play. We had 3 weeks, so we didn't have time. And they come in and they say, we want you to be part of this project.
Wow.
And we are working on this thing and we have no time. I don't have a double cast. So I see Uncle Ibo, and Uncle Ibo gives me I go, okay, fine. So I go and see them, and I tell them, look, I can't do this thing, so find someone else. And they insist
That it should be you.
that it should be me. So no matter what, I get calls from the casting director, the acting coach there, almost like they said, the director likes you. We need you on board. What will it take? And I'm like, I don't have time. They said, okay, we'll come and see him. I said, don't come and see. I'll talk to him. So somehow we make time, and I get a couple of days, 1 day or so off to go and shoot my part. And then when the next time I'm supposed to show up, we already done with the play, so it was more relaxed. But the first day was really tight. So
Wow.
that was also interesting. When it just goes to show that when it's time, opportunity will come.
Put your hands together, man. Put your hands together, man. I didn't think. Let's do it again, man. All right, folks. Let's stick around. There's more to come. We'll be right back.